I'd be willing to bet that some of you are probably wondering if Deadpool and Wolverine is a good movie, and I can happily say that it is. It still has some of the problems of the MCU by just the nature of being attached to some of the worst aspects of it, like Loki. However, the creators were clearly given enough creative freedom to be able to do their own thing, and they made a very average movie, which is absolutely astonishing. They were even given enough creative freedom that Ryan Reynolds kind of deliberately shits on Phase 4 and 5 of the MCU in the movie. Or I should say Deadpool does, not Ryan Reynolds. The same thing, really, when you get down to it. But, yeah, the movie's pretty solid overall. It came into it came into what it was trying to do with a massive amount of respect for the prior sort of IPs that it was working with, namely the Fox properties, but even to a degree the MCU properties, by showing utter reverence for what has come before, while still being able to critique and parody them. And that's something that the MCU has been sorely lacking, is that level of actual care. That and just, decent writers. Now, there are some logistical errors with the film, like certain characters showing up in places that they probably shouldn't, but that can mostly be finagled by, hey, we're traveling between time and space, multiple dimensions and multiple timelines. So, we can just sort of bullshit our way into saying, well, this character actually could be there. Even if it makes you wonder why they would be there. But the arrival of the characters is still handled well enough that one can overlook such minor errors. There are also some logistical errors in the fights, but they're not critical. They don't break everything. It's just the logistical errors facilitate a joke that could have happened without the error. So, not really a big deal, but the errors are there nonetheless. Some of the CGI is just not good. There is some terrible CGI in the movie, but there's some CGI that's absolutely fantastic. Very, very mixed bag when it comes to special effects. The suits, however, the designs are all fantastic. It's all either a direct homage or reference to previous Fox titles, which was the intent, or it's a direct, homage to the original comic book designs, because they actually directly joke about this. They're not afraid to be in a comic book movie. Like, there's literally a line in the movie that says, "Wow, wow, you're dressed like you're not afraid to be in a comic book movie," which is, I'm sorry, that's just funny. And it acts as a nice little swan song, a nice little send-off to the Fox movies, both good and bad. And there's kind of this thematic relevance to the sort of behind-the-scenes footage for all the previous X-Men movies and Fantastic Four movies and all that. There's a behind, like, they showed the behind-the-scenes footage for that stuff during the end credits. Acting as this really nice swan song, but they even show clips from the terrible movies, and I think it's kind of a thank you for everything, because without those movies, Deadpool would not have been a thing. And that sort of has also like a thematic relevance to the characters, because uh, Wolverine and Deadpool, without spoiling anything, they're sort of brought down into a really negative part of their lives, a really dour and depressing part of their lives, but through their adventures, they come to realize that, as terrible as those things are that's happened to them, it's kind of a good thing that they did, because they wouldn't be who they are. They wouldn't be world-saving heroes, or even just who they've turned out to be, without having had all that suffering and all that loss. And that sort of stems even into that sort of love letter at the end of the movie during the credits, with all the footage of all the old movies. It doesn't matter, like Ryan Reynolds, like they even show an interview of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in X-Men Origins, that terrible adaptation. But there's still this sort of like reverence in the way that that interview is presented. So it's kind of a thank you in a sort of way. Are they setting up future adventures? Kind of, yes. I don't know that they will do anything with it, but we'll see. We'll see. As for the movie itself, it is sort of reliant on the fact that it's an MCU movie. So it is sort of reliant on the fact that there are other properties that came before. However, you can go into the movie without having seen most of these other movies and understand what's going on well enough. You just won't have all of the full context. So, yeah, the movie does a really damn good job. It's astonishing. And it sort of briefly gave me hope for future installments in the MCU. And then me and some of my friends like East and Fetty looked into who was making those movies, and we promptly decided, no, this was an anomaly. This is, to quote my Finnish friend, unformed. This is the muscle spasm of a long dead corpse. It's an anomaly. This isn't something we can expect to see again. And honestly, I'm okay with that. If this is the last good thing that the MCU produces, that's fine, because this is a good movie, and in a way it's sort of detached from the MCU. Unfortunately, that still means that I ended up giving Disney some money, so that's unfortunate. But good work needs to be rewarded no matter where it comes from. Anyway, I guess that's all that I've got now, so I'll see you in the next one. Probably going to be Saving Private Ryan. Check you guys later. Bye-bye.